Welcome to the morning after post Super Bowl 31 edition. I had recorded a version of the Imperial March on my guitar, but it wouldn't play. It wouldn't record it here for whatever reason. It's not recording audio, it's not recording music, so unfortunately we cannot have that today. But we'll move on and talk about the week that was in the CFL. First of all, we had obviously the big news of the week. OK Bowl 18 went to the Colts as they took down the Maulers 78.5 to 68.5. Jim Shavino Consolation Memorial Belt will go to the Fighting Colts on this one. They take down the Maulers 78.5 to 68.5. Toilet Bowl was Minotaurs took down the Black Dingoes. And then the big one, of course, was the Super Bowl. This week, my team scored 113.5. Dynamite scored 62.5. Badger scored 61.5. The Horn Dogs at 65. However, after the previous week added in there, I ended up winning with 215 points. The Dynamite finished second with 148.6. Badgers finished third with 148.5, and the Horn Dogs brought up the rear with 130. Some that didn't calculate out here. New record there with 113.5 for any playoff game in history, any singular playoff game. Highest Super Bowl pod total. Would have been the highest point in any single week had I not made the change 5 minutes before noon of putting in Josh Downs over Malik Neighbors. Was worried about his toe, and that didn't look so good in hindsight. But I thought it was a fantastic year, the CFFL. There with my win, T. Higgins, huge. Jonathan Taylor, huge. My quarterbacks came up big. So that was kind of fun. But we'll look back here now at the consolation round. First time winner there, the Fighting Colts. Put that up. Mike Smallers would have been a second time winner had they won it, but not this year. So the beautiful, pristine belt will go over to Mike Smaller, or Fighting Colts this year. So then we'll look at the prize money. The new information here is the Horn Dogs won 75 for fourth, the Badgers won 100 for third, Dynamite won 75 for second, and the Cardinals won an additional 250 for their 10th championship in league history. We'll take a look. Also, then the Dynamite did win an extra $50 for the points, second highest points. So $225 is not bad. So congrats to them as well. Everyone who won some money. Finally, took a look. One fantasy honor went to Jonathan Taylor for the MVP of the Super Bowl. 50 points in week 16 and 17. He was crazy with 5 touchdowns there. Could have had more, especially this past week when he dropped that 2-point conversion and a couple other mistakes the Colts made in general, so not great there. One other correction I want to make. On the Kurt Warner award last week, I gave it 2 team prices right for Darnold, but in hindsight, I looked at one thing and I don't know how I missed this, but Baker Mayfield was not drafted, so the Dynamite actually should get the Dynamite for the award there. He was the third quarterback, third or fourth this year. Really good year. It helped them out big time since Anthony Richardson ended up being a flop. Also, my pretty boy quarterback, as he was said, Joe Burrow, had a pretty good year, possibly the NFL MVP had they actually had a defense. And one more thank you I'd like to have is earlier in the year, I sent a trade to Tim, so thank you, Tim, for doing this. I offered to trade either Joe Burrow or Jaden Daniels and T. Higgins for DK Metcalf. Thank you for not doing that trade. I would not have won the Super Bowl without that. So thank you, Tim, for saying that was an unexciting offer. So I appreciate that very much. So here is my trophy, which is home, and it's back with the Cardinals. Go on there. So it's very nice. The 10th championship, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the teams in the Super Bowl pod that let me trounce you. I appreciated that. Once T. Higgins scored on Saturday, I was feeling pretty good, but you never know. So very happy about that. Tune in next year. We will see what happens in the CFFL. You never know. Best of luck, everybody, and have a good new year. Thank you.